Hello, welcome to my week 6 One Piece market analysis for the card game. Looking at my top 5 cards to buy and to sell. Getting right into it with my sell cards, I think this Marshall D. Teach alt art character would be a really good sell. This is just a base card, or a base version of a character card that I sold previously, and I think it's a good sell basically for the same reasons as the base card. Obviously, the OP16 Blackbeard leader is a good leader, and it's currently in the meta. But it's not likely to be supported anytime soon, given that it's been so dominant since its release. So I don't think it's likely to become more prominent, and as a result, we've seen a lot of Blackbeard characters decline in value, which makes sense. And given that it's a alt-art character card, that it makes sense that this card has declined slower in value than its base card, but I think it's still just as likely to decline as the base card continuously, at least until some kind of new support comes out. I think that's going to be soon. So I think that this alt art should also recently hit its highest price since launch on the 14th, which is about $40.60. But it's gone down since then. It's currently worth $36.70, and it has a listed median of only $39. This Brook card, which is similarly a alt art version of a base card I sold previously. Obviously, it's a strong alt art character card. It's not particularly tied to any one deck, and it spiked alongside its base card. It went up around the same time period as it, going from about $25 to about $38 between the 27th of May and the 14th of June. This card still currently has meta value, and it's objectively it has a really nice art, but the thing with meta value is it's fickle and it can change with any release. So I think it's best to sell at this point while it benefits from both its meta value and from its art. This card, there is a bit of a caveat on my sell recommendation though. This card previously peaked twice since its release and then dipped and then peaked again. If you bought this card in May for about $20, it's probably a really good sell at this point, just to guarantee a doubling of your money. But otherwise, if you bought it for about like $35, I think it's actually just a good hold, because I think it's likely that this card will increase in value in the future. It's fair use, so it still has a long time period where it's in play. And I just think now it's a good sell. It recently hit its highest price since launch on the 19th, which was for about $38.57, but since its spike, it's been pretty stagnant. So now, for example, it's selling for about $38.18, and it has a median of $45. I think this Monkey D. Luffy alt art in particular is a good sell, not the base card. This blue alt art character, its value spiked about 100% over 7 days, which is to say it doubled in price. It started around June 19th and went up in price obviously to the 26th, and it's been basically stagnant since then. Its base card did not follow it. It did not mirror its growth. In the same 7-day time period, that base card only went up about 12%. Since its spike, the card just isn't selling as well because people aren't really willing to buy it at this price, I don't think. It's not likely, based on that, it's going to continue to grow. At higher liquidity, obviously, before it spiked, people are less willing to buy it at the current price. I think it's best to sell now before the market really starts to demand lower prices for this card, which they're already starting to do, but given that it's basically just been stagnant and slowly declining. It recently hit its highest price on the 27th, which was for $51.83. It's since bit down to about $51.04, and its median is only at $54.77, which is low relative to its currently high price, so I think it's a good sell. I think this Slow Beam Sword event card would be a really good sell. The Pirate Foil in particular, this is the Pirate Foil version. Obviously it's a strong purple event card. Its value did quite well over the last 30 days, and it recently hit its highest ever price since February, which was about $1.60. I think this card will likely be used in Extra Grand Battle after it rotates out. Obviously it's a stage 2 card, so it's rotating out soon. I think, though, that this Pirate Foil in particular is probably not going to do as well compared to its other variants. This card has a lot of variants. I think when the card in general, when it filters out, or when it rotates out rather, that Extra Grand Battle players will likely focus on the 2 cheaper variants. There's the base card and there's the reprint version. And I think people who want to buy the card or collect it for its collector value, they're more likely to buy the expensive promo and release event card versions, which are both foils themselves. So this card is in the middle of these two audiences for demand. Extra Grand Battle players are not going to buy it because it's more expensive, and collectors aren't going to buy it because it's not rare enough. The card was previously at a higher price earlier this year for about $3 or $2, somewhere between, I believe. Obviously, it would have been best sold at that point, but in case you haven't already sold it, I think it's probably best to sell it now because it's currently declining. It hit its 3-month peak on the 6th. I think this Mama Ragan alt art is also a good sell. Obviously, this is a previous base card sell recommendation or buy and then sell recommendation of mine. But I think similar to the Teach character card, Teach alt art, this is a good sell just for the same reasons the base card is. This card spiked with its base card. It went from about $20 to about $52 between the 27th of May and the 14th of June. It went up to its highest market price ever. Obviously, just like the base card, it's a good event card for Purple Enel in particular. Purple Enel recently isn't as dominant as it was in OP15. Doubt it's going to get much more support because it was basically dominating the meta during that time, or during when OP15 was the newest release. So I don't think it's likely, and it's still quite dominant. I don't think it's as likely to get support as other leaders are. So I don't think it's going to become more prominent than it is. And a lot of Purple Enel cards have been declining in value as a result, and I think it's just as likely to continue to happen for this alt art as it is for the base card. Obviously, Mama Ragan's a good event card, and it's just as likely to be used with other purple leaders. But I think it was most used with Purple Enel, and it's also a Sky Island character, so it's pretty tied to Enel, which is a Sky Island leader. Like that, there is a bit of a caveat to the sell. This card peaked twice since its release, peaked and dipped, and now it's at its current highest price. If you bought it during those dips for around $20, this is probably a good time to, safely double your money and sell. Otherwise, I think it's probably a good hold. Purple in particular probably isn't going to get support, but I think this card in particular is probably going to be used for quite a long time. So if you can't safely double your money, probably just hold this card. Previously peaked at about $52.10 on the 14th of June. It's now at $46.28, and with a median of only $49.81. So moving on to my cards to buy, I think this Sanji alt art is a good buy. I think it's affordable as an alt art rare, and I think it obviously has a popular character featured on the art. It's Sanji. I think another reason why this card would possibly be a good buy is that that Zoro, the leader's a starting deck coming soon, releasing later this month, and that leader obviously is a Straw Hat crew leader, and this Sanji character supports leaders. So I think it's a pretty good chance the card would be a good synergy with that card. It's OP12 Zoro and it's Sanji, so they're released around the same time. There is a good chance they synergize well. This card, this alt art, kind of inconsistent. Its price is on up and then down and then spiked and then dipped since its release. It was previously $17.71. It went down again and then it went to $19.55. Currently, it's at a low point in its price history given these two peaks, but it's done very well over the last 30 days. It's increased 10% over the last 30 days. I think this increases as a result of its new synergy with, or it's not a new synergy, but they're adding new cards for this leader, and I think it's a pretty safe bet. Even then, even if this doesn't turn out to be a correct prediction, it's still a stage 4 alt art of a popular character. It's tied to Straw Hat leaders, so that gives it a lot of future meta potential, and it still has years in advance to possibly get new synergies. It's worth $11.31 and it has a median of $15 even, which I think is a pretty good ratio. Moving on, I think this other Sanji card, the OP15 blue Sanji in particular, would be a good buy. I just noticed that it has a lot of strong abilities and it can be utilized by a lot of leaders because none of them are specific. Apologies. It's a blocker, it's unblockable, it's a counter, and it grants unblockable on play. The thing with this card though is it's a base rare card. Its value has been dropping since its pretty recent release. I think the drop is just likely due to the copious supply of it. Anyone who opens a lot of the OP15 boxes probably gets a lot of these Sanji cards. But I think once the massive supply dies down, it's going to be a pretty good card. It already is a pretty good card. It's used with a lot of blue leaders currently. I've seen it used with Red Blue Lucy. I've seen it used with Nami. I've seen it used with some. I believe it was one of the Luffy leaders. There's so many. One of them that were blue. I've seen it used quite a bit. But as for the card's decline in value, I think it can't get practically lower than it is right now. I've looked at the listings. There's only a small handful that are lower than its current market cost. Demand remains high for this card. People are still buying it rather consistently and a lot. Its current market value is about 54 cents, and it has a median of 88 cents. Just looking at a ratio, I think that's good. I think it just signals that it has the potential to grow. The only thing maybe hampering its value, other than that it's a base card and it's been declining in value, I think is that there hasn't been a new OP17 blue leader announced, and that may damper its value a bit more. But even then, I think it'd probably be a good buy, even if it went a bit lower than its current price, because you know, obviously they can't not release blue leaders forever, and if not OP17, there would be a new one in OP18, and there's, you know, a good chance that it's a Straw Hat leader. Even then, if not, none of these abilities are leader specific. I just think this card has a good future. It's stage 4, so it's got a lot of time on it, and it's a popular character on top of all of its other benefits. I think it's maybe a bit of a sleeper for now, given that there's no leader for it coming out, but I think it's used quite a bit from what I've seen currently. I think at this point, it's gone low enough to where I think it's a good buy. So moving on, I think this Smoker SR card is a good buy. It's affordable, it's a green SR, it's affordable as an SR I should say, and from what I've seen, it has kind of a rare ability. I haven't seen very many banish cards. I've looked at it, I think there's only about 20. So I think this is a really good ability. It counters trigger cards, so whenever you do damage to the leader and you turn the life card, this doesn't allow whatever trigger effect to occur. And a lot of decks are built on trigger cards, so this could be a good counter to those cards. I think other than that, it's got a good price to power ratio. It costs 5, and given its cost, high damage of about 7. I also think it has potential to be used with the upcoming Green Shanks card. I've had this prediction for a while that that OP12 Perona would be a really good synergy with OP17 Shanks. Basically what OP12 Perona does is it allows you to put a card into your hand that has the slash attribute, or an event card that has a slash attribute if your leader has the slash attribute. I think it's likely that the new Shanks does have the slash attribute, given that every other Shanks leader has had that same attribute. Currently it's valued at $1.21 and has a median of $1.71, and based on all that, I think it would be a good buy. I think this Smoker and Tashigi card would also be a good buy. It's an affordable new red rare. It's worth about, or it sells for about 15 cents right now. I think it creates a very, well, I don't think, I know. It creates a very strong synergy with Navy type leaders. During your opponent's turn, it makes the base power of the leader 7,000, and most leaders have a base power of 5,000, so it's a flat benefit of 2,000 for any leader. And it's good for defense, obviously. It's also a rush card. Based on how Bandai is still releasing new red Navy characters with no new leader, I think it's been my prediction for a while that there is likely a new red Navy leader to come out at some point, in which case a lot of previous red Navy cards like this one would probably do very well. It's also at a low point in its price history, so in general for this card this would just be a good time to buy it. It's currently valued at 15 cents and has a median of 23 cents. Even then I think it's just a safe card to buy. It's a base card rare, and it's going for cents, so it can only really get much. It can only get so much lower. But moving on, I think this Shanks alt art would be a really good buy. It's a purple alt art rare featuring a young Shanks and Buggy. I think this card has a lot of potential to be highly valued just for its art. It features 2 pretty popular characters as kids. You know, obviously there's the one with the I forgot which one in particular, but there was the Tashigi alt art from the Forgotten Wednesday. That Tashigi alt art derived a lot of value from its art, from the fact that it had like popular characters in the background. It could be the same with this one. I think, yeah, Buggy was one of the leaders, if I'm correct. So I think this could go up further. It's currently worth about $1.20, which is a low price given its history, and I think it could be a good buy. Regarding its gameplay value, I've looked into this card. It's basically just only really usable with the OP13 Anniversary Set Goldie Roger leader. But for that leader, it's a good card. It's also stage 4, so it has quite a lot of time to gain more meta value. Thing is though, it is tied to like Roger Pirates quite a lot. From what I've seen, Roger Pirates basically got all of their cards in OP13 and basically none since. But if they do ever get support and they get a new leader that could use this card, I think it has even some meta value. But my main point for buying this card is I think that it's got good potential given its art, and I think it's probably a good buy and hold card. It's currently valued at $10.20, and it has a median of only $13. And so thank you. That's my presentation. Have a good rest of your day.